My name is Yugomenki Inoho. I was born on 9th of November 2001. I was a little boy with green eyes and brown curly hair. My mom is French and Italian from Toscana. My dad is a French black with Spaniard from El Sur. I was a little human, began walking at 5 months, but we didn't start talk until 2 years old. For 2 months mom left home to become a medical representative. I wasn't able to see her and so I was crying a lot. I became really skinny and I wasn't eating anymore. When she came back with the diploma, I got my life back, I gained some weight, and I started school. My life became really relaxed and easy. I was a very happy kid. I was doing a lot of activities, sports, music, drawings, having some fun in parks, in bookshops, or in cinemas. I remember playing on my old NAS computer, playing just The Sims, MobiClick, and Hadid. I remember running down the stairs in panic, trying to explain to Nana how the inventor of Harry Potter 3 was dangerous. I remember playing cards and dice with Nana, trying to understand the accent of the half family. I remember having this cooking session with Nana in the kitchen, and the gardening afternoon with Nana. I was so carefree at this time. This afternoon in my bedroom, with my little TV, watching the same episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Over and over, while learning the scripts of a movie by heart. I remember playing my PSP and my DS. Playing at Pokemon for hours. I remember creating an extraordinary world where all get superpowers. I remember a story that my mother was telling me at bed. In the future, they brought so much to the sun that they will become minutes and seconds, but nights will become weeks, months, then years. The start of junior school was tough. Year 6 was puzzling. Friends from primary are making new friends, and all of them move away from me. I become an easy prey. The big skeleton with big glasses and with hair to Berkeley. I'm bullied by one big kid. I received some insult, scorn, humiliation. I feel sad and lonely, but I keep going. I hide at their library and I go to the toilet to cry. Then I arrived at the point of no return. Public humiliation in the cloakroom. I cried, I escaped, I collapsed. From this moment everything is confused. I'm going to the PEA. Some of my old friends did it, the bully. They make me feel sick when I look at them. I feel betrayed, attacked from all sides. I don't know how to react. My mom is brilliant. She listened to me and prepared a counter-strike. Ride driver. Finally justice is delivered. Couple weeks later, Nana passed away. That was really hard. A lot of emotions at the same time. Everything is falling around me. I'm crying a lot. Other grandparents will follow, happy, and then a few months later. I call this period the black year. These moments are hard, but I finally came through this cycle of life. I lived great moments with them, and I will keep that in my heart. In a few months, I start to feel better. I meet Maxim, a small boy with an unexpected quick tongue and an insolent intelligence. He will save me from the CS he goes to bed. The next year, we will treat each other in the same USA. Even if at this time we were simply good friends, the moment that will change everything will be the visit in England. After this trip we never left each other. We were able to finish the sentences of the others. A real bromance. Junior school could find its dog. A constant fun, full of free teachers, and where recess is more important than any. At the same time, I started to find my passions and ideas of what I wanted to do later in life. I passed most of the time doing scuba diving, playing video games, or reading books. This year also the golden age of YouTube, with SLG, What the Cut, JDV. All of these channels shaped my humor, my passion for internet, and all the culture around me. Finally this year finished, with almost 10 grades without working too hard. After that I had to consider between 3 opportunities, 3 high school, 1 choice. The facility. The high school just next to my place that will allow me to slack off and sleep a lot. The comfort. Maxim's high school. my sister's high school. A bit far, but I will be with my best friend. The excellence. The Institute of Journey. Best high school in the region, the hardest one, but the one that will give me the most opportunity. I finally choose option 3. After that, we had 3 months of holiday. That's when Mom had to have her chemotherapy. But strangely, I don't really remember. I mean, it was too fast. I've been told quite lately, I didn't really even talk about it, but it looked so easy that I assumed there was no problem. That's why we had a quiet summer holiday. That was one of the best summers of my life. I've played with Train for 3 months. Between the creation of Raptor to be Free, 3AA, video games with friends, long conversation with Theodore, Tokaz, Zisco, Butsu, I was never bored. Then it finally arrived, high school. I was very happy, full of hope and expectation. And a very big
disillusionment.
A shitty return to school. I break my wrist a week after the start. We were the worst class of year 10, 33 boys for 4 girls. All teachers hated us. We were unbearable. The math teacher can't teach us because of the noise. The sport teacher wanted me to run with my broken wrist. In addition of all of this, and the unlikely haircut, I was starting to isolate myself a lot. I was starting to draw. I'm passing a lot of time on my computer. My scholarship results are in free fall. I have a lot of trouble to waking up in the morning. YouTube became a real shelter. I'm deciding to really invest myself in video games, in movies, or music. I want to build my knowledges, teach myself new things. After a few months we're eating together at the canteen with Pierre. I'm starting to hate a lot of people. I'm starting to theorize about people. The relation that they have between each other. I'm doing everything on my iPhone. I'm writing thousands of texts, listening to hundreds of songs, watching thousands of hours of videos. I'm starting on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Discord. When I'm coming back on bus in the evening, I'm listening to sonata of pianos out of sleep. When I go home, I'm rushing upstairs to my computer. I'm playing LOL, Hearthstone, CSGO. League of Legends become an outlet. I'm insulting my teammates, getting angry, and screaming. I become despicable, dreadful, hateful. I feel empty. I'm having a long discussion with Theo during nights. Danlama is doing his first videos on YouTube. I'm realizing the first anniversary that will be deleted a few months later shamefully. Internet in my shelter, my exit. Everything frustrating, everything I hate is unhappiness. Everything is expressed through internet. At high school I'm feeling lonely. I don't want to go anymore. I'm leaving class quickly when the bell rings. I'm fighting to stay awake. The last months I don't even go to school anymore. Mom doesn't force me anymore. I feel I'm out of the woods. I feel that I haven't remembered anything of these hours at school in year 10. I didn't learn anything, nothing rewarding, just a waste of time. The only positive thing may be my internet friends. I become very close with some of them. That's an unusual relationship, but that's special to me. Well, I lied a bit. There was something that was alright in year 10. It was the European section. The only moment where I could say to myself, we're in high school. At the middle of the year, we had the opportunity to participate in a scientist conference in South Korea. Without really think about it, I participated. I felt I had nothing to lose. School was boring. I had one chance of a 6 to be drawn. I was in the first one. I left the class this day with a smile and was thinking, serves you right. So we finally went to South Korea. There were 9 of us. And from the very start, there was a total change of scenery. We had a touristic tour the first week. We were going to all the iconic places in South Korea. Year 10 had been a tough year. I was mentally weak, with a very low self-esteem, and without confidence in myself. Everything was affecting me a lot. With the journey, I rediscovered socialization, but I still felt another relation with the others, but I didn't say anything. The arrival at the conference was incredible. The school was massive. There was activity everywhere, high-tech equipment, scientific experience. But during an empty trip in bus, with sad music in my ears, I collapsed. I write a message in the messenger group, I cry for help. I'm not well, and I need them to understand. I hesitate to send it. I press the button, big moment of stress. I'm observing the reaction around me. I'm receiving the first answer. I'm relieved. It's support and understanding. I send a quick merci, and I scoot out the bus. The next night, still shaken about what happened, I have a long discussion with Hugo. We talk about life, the high school in France. We compare it to Korea. We did realize how lucky we were, living this life, outside of our culture. We said that we had to do it again, but for longer. Next year, no matter what, we're going for an exchange in another country. A break less packed. I wasn't so serious, but that made a lot of sense with time. Return in France, motivated by this idea. Arrived the month of July, when I'm going to New York with Mom. The city you have to visit once in your life. That was amazing, walking the Fifth Avenue with old street art. All the American shops, the fast food, the burgers, excessiveness in everything. The races in the train at Central Park, all the iconic museum, Starry Night of Van Gogh. The city is incredible. New York seems so familiar so fast. There was a bit of an accomplishment out of all this journey that I have ever done with Mom, the most ambitious. That's when I remember the pledge that I did a few weeks before. I have to live abroad for a year, quit everything, for a better comeback, better life. I will not have trouble with English anymore, no frustration. Mom, reclaimed at first, did accept. She did the same younger. And finally, I wrapped August, the last journey of this summer. I took the plane for Berlin with Dad. We visited the museums, the bookshops, the Brandenburg Gate. We made weird restaurants and cafe, some delivery. We talked a lot, but instead of this 15-year past, we didn't fight. We're actually getting along pretty well. I'm happy to have passed these moments with my father. He talked to me about his fear about this travel. He also lived a similar experience when he was younger, an unfortunate one. He finally agreed. He hoped that everything is going to be well for me. This journey was a real trigger for me. I always loved to travel when I was a kid. I think that December had been unbeatable for me and my view of the world. My brain had probably record, treat, think all different things around me that I changed. The teenager side, frustrated and happy, was sick a bit, got transformed into a teenager that is interested and who wants to do new things, enjoy life and become a better person. I wanted to change, to evolve. Well, a new year started. I'm very worried of what's going to happen. I can't forget the other years, this wonderful first impression and an intense deception. But I keep in mind that anyway, I will be gone at the end of the year. I learn who is in the class, I'm seeing Pierre, I feel very happy, relieved, I check the rest of the list, I don't know anyone. After a few months, I've gotten to know them. Overall, this class is infinitely more interesting this year. There is a lot of different personalities, but we finally reconstitute a very cool group of friends. I went as far as thinking that I will potentially have a chance with Gil, unthinkable few years earlier. Full of faith, I organized a party at New Year, at home, and I wanted to go too fast. A lot of people can't come or cancel the last minute. I canceled the party and called Maxim. We're going to pass this New Year together, playing at GTA 5 and drinking cider. I felt stupid, but it's alright. It's actually what I needed. A good moment with an old friend. In February, we're going on a trip to England. I realized that traveling with friends is very different than with your parents. We had less money, we paid nothing, but that was hilarious. Between the discussion that night with Flora and Pierre and the visit today, we were never bored. Then the weeks go fast. Then the first exam of the bac started. The orals of TPE. We're doing great. To celebrate that, we're going for a party at Lille. A lot of pressure for me. At the first true party outside, there was alcohol, laughter, creepy moments. We finally come back with some mishap at Margot's house. We chill out a bit, play cards, talk about life and jobs we would like to do later, and we finally sink into sleep after a few hours. A bit after the party, I start to talk with Mathilde. We start to send messages every day. We even made the flame on Snapchat. At the same period, for no particular reason, my computer died. I don't have access to my numeric universe. At this moment, I feel something that I didn't feel for years at home. Boredom, an awful one. I try to do other things instead. I'm drawing, reading, working for exam, going out with friends. Slowly I figure out that this computer, this shelter was a prison for me. So comfortable, easy that I didn't want to leave it. Realizing that made me ask a question about the relationship that I have with others. How my utilization of internet colored my perception of life. I didn't want that anymore. This situation, these feelings of missing something because of internet, I drastically reduced my use. This period is very old for me. Between sadness and the feeling of being better, I'm talking more and more with Mathilde. From this discussion and in an affinity, we start to go together. But this relation is complex. I'm leaving soon. The pledge that I did is going to make me leave. Between high school, French exams, and the preparation of the trip, a race against time started. The last day of school, I left the high school for a year with the hope of finding what I missed the most, spirit to finish the next year. The writing of the French bac. I finished this adventure with French literature as it starts. I put my heart in my essay, and that's not rewarding. The oral of the French bac. I tell an inspired speech to the teacher. She liked it. The year 11 is behind me. The party. I see all my friends for the last time. They're all there, all those I wanted to see. The party is not perfect, but I say goodbye to everyone together. Benjamin is leaving. A final time with the friend that I see the less, but the one I talk the most. If Maxime would have saved me from the junior, Benjamin undoubtedly saved my year 10. I'm beholden to him for this. The last day with Mathilde. After a quiet party, we finally say goodbye to each other. The irony is that she's the one who take the plane first. I will miss her. I couldn't see her for a year. The visit at Mali. With that, we go to the south one last time. I will discover all the places, the landscape that I saw younger. I'm hugging my dad one last time on the train platform, where it's usually me who sees him leaving. The last day at Lille. Florent and Manuel accompany me for a last lunch, a half-cooked takeout. I hug them to say goodbye to them and to everyone. The last look with Tony and Mom. They returned 8 times to the airport before I couldn't see them. The last tag, the hardest one of all. Ils vont me manquer.